AI, 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 AI. We've heard that Google search is dead.
The bitch is dead.
Because of AI. Email marketing is almost dead too.
That bitch is dead.
Because of AI. SpaceX is heading to the biggest IPO in history because of AI. And ChatGPT has resolved the math puzzle that we as humans couldn't crack for 80 years.
Houston, we have a problem.
Good morning, guys. This is Morning AI Drip. My name is Danis, and once a week on this channel I break down all the biggest AI news in simple, plain language. And I also throw in some jokes that are almost funny and posting some memes that are almost fresh. Because who doesn't like memes? Do you? So if you do, subscribe to this channel because we dive in. Let's begin with one of the biggest and most important AI events happened this week, Google I.O. This year, the event happened in May 1920 in Mountain View, California. And for those who doesn't know what is Google I.O., this is annual big developer conference where they talk about their new products, updates, and many things happening about Google Search, Android, Google Cloud. And of course, 80% of their topics was about AI, AI, AI. The conference was so fruitful that Google even did like a blog post about 100 things that we launched during Google I.O. Conference was so fruitful that Google even did a special blog post where they presented 100 things. Let's check it out. Okay, so there are 100 things they announced at I.O. 2026. Of course, we're not going to check all of this 100, but I prepared 5 most important in my opinion. And the first one is actually Google Gemini Omni. And what is this? This is actually their new video model. It's interesting that they called this model Omni. Interesting because their previous model were called Google VO1, VO2, VO3. So that's actually interesting that they decided to call this model Omni. And I guess because this model should be like perceived as completely new and like next level. And based on their description, actually this looks like that because Google Omni combines an intuitive understanding of physics with Gemini's knowledge of history, science, and culture. And also what's interesting that now you can do even custom avatars. And this is amazing feature because you can create your avatars that will look and even sound like you. I actually wanted to share one of example of such avatar. So it's not me, it's just my digital avatar.
Claude. Now it connects with your favorite apps, Notion, Figma, Stripe, Canva, and more. With just one click. No more copy pasting or switching tabs. Want Claude to pull your notes from Notion and turn them into a sleek social post in Canva? Done. With this update, Claude became less of a chat body and more like your AI coworker, seriously boosting workflow and creativity.
So now you can create such digital avatars just inside your Gemini chat. And let's move on and let's check what's changed. And actually, search changed significantly. You can check their video, it's just 2 minutes. I'm not going to stop here. I just want to mention that even Google acknowledged that This is like the biggest upgrade to their search box in over 25 years. And to be honest, this is a little bit sad for search engine optimization specialists, and this is like a big industry. I got some friends that used to work as SEO specialists, and they had pretty good successful businesses and projects, but now it's completely changing the game board. And many of my friends send me pictures like this. Here's probably you need to put something like 20th of May 2026, and after that, yeah, that's funny because it goes below the chart. I guess you understand it. Okay, but in 2 words, what actually is changing in Google search? Basically, now Google search is not just the website where you go, put some keywords, and it's going to find the websites that include those keywords, but it's your personal dashboard created just for your needs, for your initial request, for your prompt. And I will put a little bit how it's gonna look like. I will put it without sounds, there is just some music on the background, but again, you just put something that you're looking for and Google will build for you in AI mode everything, like the text, the image, the video, the schema, the explanation, etc. So basically you get your personal dashboard inside one request. But it's always better once to try than 100 times to hear. So I suggest that we just go to Google and let's put some quick prompt, like for example, what is Memorial Day? And you can check that on AA mode. Here you will get the reply, you will have like all the information you need. And on the right side, you will get some sources where the information was taken from. But again, you don't have this typical dashboard with all the websites, and it completely changed the games for search engine optimization. So let's move on and check what else they are actually added. And another interesting thing that happened with search, because now you can create your search agent that will go and check the information for you. For example, instead of me checking, I don't know, like the tickets, or on the presentation they showed good example, like I follow some NBA star and I want to follow when they have any collaboration with some shoe producer because I want to buy that shoe. So I don't need to check it myself. I just create a search agent, and every day this agent will go and check it. And as soon as there is a new collaboration between my favorite player and shoe producer, I will get notification. So I don't need to waste my time on searching internet. I just get notification. Personalized for me. So let's move and let's check what else was presented. There is a lot about anti-gravity. This is more relevant for developers. Also very interesting universal card, and what it means that you can search through the internet, you can find different shops, you can find something inside the AA mode, and you can add this to the cart. And for example, you could possibly add like some different things from different websites, and you don't need to go to check out each of this website. You have one Google unified card and you can pay inside the Google, so you don't need to go to different websites, and Google will manage the payments to those websites. And this looks on the one hand amazing for customer experience, on the other hand this looks like those dark kitchens and DoorDash in my opinion. But let's check what else was changed. As I said, there are 100 different changes. So another amazing news from Google, which was pretty predictable. They also presented Gemini Spark, and basically this is like Claude Cowork, or as well as Codex. Basically this is your agents that can run inside your laptop, phone, etc., and do some agentic work. One of such out-of-the-box agent is called Daily Brief, because it can have access to your calendar, to your mailbox, and it can completely like being your personal assistant. Another interesting story is about Google Anti-Gravity. What's interesting, because there is the latest version, which is Google Anti-Gravity 3.0, is actually looks more like Codex, not like typical IDE. and few more updates about inbox. They call it like AI inbox. And I was talking that my friends that work in SEO, search engine optimization, they were shocked by the changes that Google just implemented for search traffic. But the same way, my friends that work in email marketing, they are also like not shocked, but they expect that Google can change the game board for email marketing, because now Google can summarize all the emails, etc. I personally like those features, because when I reply to email, before I had to go and copy paste. This is like a tiny thing, but actually it helps a lot and saves a lot of time. I just have this created reply inside my Gmail, and I already use it because I use Google Workspace and it's already available there. Now they apply this feature to all other tiers. By the way, I also want to share with you the pictures that my friends from email marketing sent to me. Here it is. It's more about Apple Intelligence, not Google itself, but the idea completely same, that AI and artificial intelligence just changes the way that mailbox works. For example, before Apple Intelligence was enabled, for example, if an email marketer of Fifth Saks Avenue sent you a promo code, you couldn't see this promo code, so basically you had to open this email, and only after that you could see the promo code, or maybe you even had to click to get that. And that was a way to track that someone opens, someone clicks emails. And here is a case when Apple Intelligence is actually enabled. As you can see, there is an AI preview where you can see the promo code, and you can apply it directly without opening email. There are a few more interesting stuff posted here. The last but not the least, Google transforms the way you learn and explore with help of eyewear, and I'm talking about collaboration between Google and Samsung, because they launch a new glasses. I think they are going to be better than Meta glasses, their collaboration with Ray-Ban, because Meta Super AI Intelligence, actually, like their model, it's not as smart as Google's model. So I expect that these glasses will be next level comparing to Meta Ray-Ban. By the way, I have those somewhere in my closet. And to be honest, they are fun, but I can say that the AI features, they did it on promo, when you can get like in real-time translation, etc. To be honest, that didn't work very nice. If you're interested in more details, I will leave the URL in the description that you can go and check yourself all 100 updates from Google I.O. And we move on. And next, huge news coming from OpenAI, because OpenAI model disproved central conjecture in discrete geometry. Sounds difficult, yeah, because it is. Because this is a puzzle that we as humans and best mathematicians couldn't resolve in 80 years, and OpenAI, artificial intelligence, just did it. Let's go and let's check it out. So basically they claim that one of OpenAI models cracked part of 80-year-old math problem from Paul Erdos, one of the most famous names in mathematics. Mathematicians thought that the best way to arrange dots was basically like a squad grid, and OpenAI's model found a better pattern, and basically that was reviewed by modern scientists, and they approved that actually solution by OpenAI's model was correct. So no, it didn't like solve all of the math, but it did challenge an idea that humans believed for nearly 80 years, and that's really a huge deal. Again, just think about it, that artificial intelligence already nowadays resolves the puzzle that we as humans could resolve for 80 years, and this is a little bit scary, or not? What do you think? And the next important story in AI space about Andrej Karpathy, who joined Anthropic. And for those who doesn't know, Andrej Karpathy is a very, very famous guy in AI space because first he was co-founder, founding member of OpenAI. Second, he joined Tesla and he was director of AI who worked on computer vision for Tesla Autopilot, and Elon Musk was very happy with his work. Also, he is famous because many call him father of the term vibe coding. And by the way, we are preparing an amazing video about vibe coding for people who doesn't know what is vibe coding or who knows but not sure all the opportunities of vibe coding. So we decided to make such video that explains all the aspects of vibe coding. And last but not the least, he created and taught very popular course at Stanford University, which is called Stanford CS 231, and it's about deep learning for computer vision. In general, by the way, people just like him because he explains difficult stuff in simple language, and I think that's why people really love this guy. And on May 19, Anthropic has signed him as one of their scientists who is going to develop and teach and train LLM at Anthropic. And of course, a lot of people on X started talking that, oh, this is just a move from Anthropic because they are going to IPO, and this year is going to be crazy because there are SpaceX coming to IPO, ChatGPT, OpenAI, and Anthropic, and this is just a move to attract such famous guys as Andrej Karpathy to their company before IPO, that they can increase their evaluation. And by the way, that maybe even makes sense because Anthropic just reported that this is the first time they become profitable, because before they spent more to train all those models, invest in infrastructure, etc. And now they said that they are actually profitable. And of course, why? Because they are going to IPO. And as a person who used to work at KPMG, working with some accounting stuff, I understand how this works when you can defer some expenses to the future periods and play with numbers, etc. So I believe this is just a pre-IPO moves. I'm not talking about Andrej Karpathy specifically joining Anthropic because of this pre-IPO move, but I'm just talking that when the company is going to IPO, the timing is important. So we are going to watch what happens next. So as you can see, it's really difficult to keep up with all those updates, breakthroughs, and new models and all those news in AI space. That's why we created Morning AI Tree, a daily brief that brings to you 5 stories that happen in AI space that you should be aware of. Just go to newsletter.scaleyourweb.com and put your email here and enjoy daily news briefs. It's super quick, you can check this example. We just share some important numbers and a quick story that explains why it matters to you, as well as with source of the information. So be sure to subscribe to this newsletter and enjoy. And we move on. And the next story coming from SpaceX, because they filed for public initial offering in NASDAQ, and we expect to see SpaceX as traded publicly a company in June 11th, 12. So basically just 3 weeks before the biggest IPO in history, because SpaceX is planning, and probably this is gonna happen, they plan to attract $80 billion with a valuation of 1.75 trillion. 1.75 trillion. The company is just going to IPO, and this is crazy. And the craziest thing that the revenue multiplicator is 100 even more. So the evaluation of the company is 100 more than its revenue, and it's crazy. I used to study finance, and if someone would tell me that there are people that they are ready to invest in the company with multiplicator 100, my finance teacher would probably say that this is insane. And of course, in history, there were some rare cases where multiplicator was very high, but not on $1 trillion IPOs. This is crazy, guys. But what's interesting, let's check their evaluation of the market and where actually they see those numbers. That's maybe most important because we know SpaceX as a company that's behind like space technologies. But as you know, they merge xAI, which is their AI division, with SpaceX and also Neuralink. And here are the numbers, how they estimate where they are going to get the revenue from, like what's the market size, what they can get from that market. And as you can see, actually space is less than 400 billion, whereas connectivity, which is their Starlink, broadband and mobile, is estimated to 1.6 trillion. And AI is estimated to 26.5 trillion. So the biggest money are actually in AI industry. And this is a good sign for you, because if you're on this channel, you probably understand the irreversible impact of artificial intelligence, and you will be prepared probably for those changes. And now you know that Elon Musk is also preparing for that, because they are going to get a huge money and they are going to invest them in AI because they estimate this as the biggest market opportunity.
I know you can see the demons all in my.
And the next story is about company KPMG, and we already touched a little bit this company today because this is actually my first employer during my university years, and of course I have some warm feelings to that company. And even though there are so many memes about KPMG, something like this, because basically KPMG is the smallest company among Big Four, and Big Four like four big companies operating in the space of audit and consulting. But I'm happy to announce that actually KPMG is the first company that is going to implement AI on such level, because KPMG announced their alliance with Anthropic. They are going to implement the Claude to 276,000 of employees across the world. So this is a huge client for Anthropic. And I'm glad because KPMG is going to use Claude, which is the best LLM nowadays, in my opinion. And they are going to use that LLM for tax and legal department first, for making research, for analyzing contracts, for making this search within documents, etc. And this sounds for me completely reasonable, because LLMs can do boring job much better. And I believe many employees of all of Big Four already use those LLMs. And actually there were a lot of news in media that some companies were accused using ChatGPT with some hallucinations. And I believe those juniors will use it anyway. And it's much better to use best model and to have some internal policies how to use them, how to be aware of hallucinations. And again, I'm glad that KPMG is leading this AI pursuit between this Big Four company. And that's it for today, guys. Remember that AI will not replace you, that's not for sure, but people that use AI will replace you, and that's for sure. So in order to keep up with all the AI news, be sure to subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in a week. Bye bye.